Soap time! Woo woo woo! Hi everyone, it's Nathan here, and welcome to another Soap Sesh with Nathan. So, we're just gonna get really into this. So the last few videos I kind of gabbed, but I noticed that most people don't really watch for the whole thing. So, rather than gabbing, let's just get to it. We are making Blackwood today. This is a remake, one that I made many times. People love it. They come back for it. It's a kind of a Palo Santo-y type scent. It's activated charcoal with coconut milk, and we're doing a 36% lye solution today. And let's get started, guys. I thought let's not waste any opportunity to just go ahead and do some filming. This is going to be an easy soap today. So we've already got our activated charcoal in here. We've got our activated charcoal in here at 1 tablespoon per pound of oil. So it is on the higher end, and it will probably make your lather turn gray, but that's okay. It's no big deal. It makes a blacker soap, and people seem to love it. So I pre-mixed in everything here. This is my activated charcoal, this is my coconut milk, and I've already pre-blended them into my warm oils. And I like doing it this way for these ones because activated charcoal can have a tendency to, if you don't blend it really well, it can have a tendency to get little specks in it. So we're gonna avoid that today. So let's get rocking and rolling. So I have found that I enjoy filming in the vertical format. I am not a huge fan of the horizontal format, and YouTube likes that. So we're just gonna keep doing what we want to do. And let me know if you watch this from your computer or you watch this from your phone, because if you're watching from your phone, this looks just fine, right? So, okay, so we've got Tessa Silk in here, we've got sodium lactate, and this is a 36% lye solution when I combine with the coconut milk. So let's just get rolling. So I'm straining here. I mixed this up earlier in the day, and when I leave it here in the basement, if I was to cover it, I wouldn't have this lye lint. So this lye lint is what we're collecting in here. So let's just get rolling. And this is gonna be a really easy pour, because this is just basically a black soap with a gold floozy top. You know it. And that's probably why people come back for it, because the top is so cute. Let's get the last of that out of there. So one of the things that I like to stress when I'm doing these solid color soaps is I like to go for no bubbles. I want my soap batter to be so silky smooth. I want it to be absolutely perfect. And that's what we're aiming for. So we've already done a lot of things to try and keep our batter from having any bubbles in it. And we will continue throughout the process to try and keep bubbles at a minimum, because they really show up more in these solid color soaps. So this soap should be dark black. So we're going for a black soap. We're not going for like a light gray or whatever you get sometimes when you don't use enough activated charcoal. So black soap. Okay, here we go. So one of the things about black soap like this is it can sometimes be really hard to tell when you're at trace. So fortunately, in our case, we're making a solid color soap, and it's going to be a 1 pour. So we don't really need this to be, we can over stick blend this, make sure it's nice and done. If I didn't mention earlier, this is a kind of like a Palo Santo-y type of scent, and people just love it. It has like this earthy tone to it, but it also has like kind of like, the description says Divana rum and like coconut milk. So it's got this sort of sweet, not sweet quality, but it's got this sort of Like vanilla-y quality. Because this does discolor, so there's a little bit of vanilla in it. So I really like this though. It's such a nice woodsy scent. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my fragrance in here. So we're just going to pour this down the stick blender. I normally stir in all my fragrance, but let's stick blend it in today because we want to make sure this is all really well blended in. And this doesn't like super accelerate, it does a little bit. So I always keep that in mind. Oh, it smells so good. I love it. We have stick blended way more than we generally do, but we're just making sure this is really well incorporated today. And then we'll pour, and it might be a little thicker, and that's okay. If we're gonna do a gold floozy top, this is probably good. I'm gonna stir the remainder with my spatula here. And let's just get the rest of the soap off. We'll probably have a little extra, but we're gonna try and pour the whole amount into the mold. Look at that. I made a little drip on the counter. It's gonna drive me insane until I clean it up. Bye-bye. I like to soap clean. I like to keep all my spaces as clean as possible because it just means you've got more room for air. Like if you mess up or something, you're not scrambling around trying to find something, you're just ready to go. So look at how nice and velvety this looks. It's still really thin, but that's okay. I'm trying to give it a little bit of time here to get out any additional air bubbles, and we'll even give it a tap. And we'll drop more stuff because when you're like, it's done dripping, it's not done dripping. So we're just gonna bring up any air bubbles here to the top. So we're really going for no air bubs. The last few videos I've done have been like 30 minutes long. And it's like, we're gonna be done in like 10 minutes. Most people only watch about 10 minutes anyways, so we're just getting to it. Okay, so we're gonna pour down the spatula. Look at that gorgeous black. Gorgeous! We're pouring down because we're trying to keep all the air bubbles to an absolute minimum. We might get sort of a glassy top. You always kind of get it with this, I always get it with this design, but we did stick blend a little bit more today, so it might be a little bit thicker, and we might not get a fully glassy top. This is thicker than my, there's more soap in here than normally for me. Because normally, so these are extra big bars. And I could scrape the rest of this out, but if I put too much in, I'm gonna have to basically, darn it. We're gonna have to basically trim our bars down or they won't fit in our boxes, so. I'm like, don't make a mess. This is looking great. First thing, we're gonna make a whole bunch of noise as we try and pat this down. I'll give it a tap on the floor too. Although I'm like, don't drop it. Also, don't show off. Your coin slot. People know what coin slot means. Ooh, look, you can see my reflection in this black. I love it. This is a very full mold. Okay, so one thing I like to do when I do my gold, which we're going to use on the top, is I like to mix it with some oil first. And then what I do is before I pour it, I like to mix it right before I'm going to pour it. Because it allows it to, it's fully incorporated. And if I was to have done it a while ago, it could have settled again. So it's good to do your gold, in my opinion, right before you're going to pour. So it's nice and blended. It might be a little too thick right now, but as long as it's pourable, that's okay. That's what we want. We want it thick but pourable. Okay. So here we go. Let's add some gold to the top here. Ooh, it's nice and thick. It might be too thick. When it's thick like that, it's good because it means that it's not going to spread much on your soap. And now we're gonna do some, maybe I can try and get coax a little bit more out of here and even up these lines. I'm gonna see if I can get these. Because then we will have part of the soap that doesn't have lines and part of the soap that does. We don't want that. Just getting the very last bit out here. Okay, that's probably good enough. All right. So we're going back and forth. We're creating really thin lines here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Now what's there not to love about a gold floozy top? I love gold. Maybe not super thin. We're just going kind of medium thin on here. As I've mentioned in other videos, I like doing this top a lot because it creates a smooth, consistent texture across the top of the bars. You have some bars that aren't taller than others. Plus, it creates sort of like a cool pattern that you can do other designs on. So I could like draw something here, but I'm not going to. But I am going to go up and down and across. So I always do that with this design. And how's that for a cute gold soap? That's all she wrote, guys. It's done. It smells great. So how I finish it, just plop the top on. It's gonna sit here and it's gonna doink. And we're done. So I like an easy soap sometimes. And tonight I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make soap, but I did. So, and that was easy. And look at the spatula. So everything is like so nicely, like it's not dripping. Oh, that spatula is like, such beautiful texture. I love this soap. Okay, that's enough of that. If you liked what you saw and would like to see more, please like, share, subscribe. I'm so bad at saying that. It's like, look at me make soap! Down to business. Okay, so we reached about 15 minutes. That was better than 30 that we've been doing. So I hope you guys all have a absolutely lucky night and day. Maybe that should be a sign up. Have a lucky day. There you go. And we'll see you next time. Bye.